Hi, so welcome back to the channel, and we are continuing with the second session of discussing our question right now is how do I successfully apply for the Mandela Washington Fellowship and actually go through. If you shared my background in the first video, you can check that out. So let's continue with this now. Who is technically eligible is our new question. So things you really need before you even start applying, you need a laptop and you need access to good internet because the application is definitely online. You can't download it. So you need to have really good internet. Otherwise, it's going to keep going on and off, and you might lose your if you don't keep saving, or you might end up losing your application details. And if you have that, you can use a phone, but a laptop is better. Second, can you speak English? It doesn't have to be perfect, but you have to be able to communicate well in English. Hear, listen, and actually speak it. If you come from a non-speaking English country, it would be helpful for you to use some of the resources that are already on the YALI website that help you improving your English, or find a friend or do a course to help you get the basics of speaking well in English. If you're coming from a country that speaks English, that's already a technical thing you should tick off. Then, do you have any criminal records that we should be worried about? So you should be clean. Let's put it that way. A good servant leader should be clean. And yes, so make sure you don't have any criminal records with you. And you need to save a little bit of some money because you're going to keep moving up and down when you're processing some of these things or after the application. It is better that you actually keep saving, at least have 300, be able to acquire or save like a minimum of $300 with you to help you through that process. Okay, so now this is usually shared on their website, but I'm going to go through these bullets just to make it clear. And if you have any questions, remember to put them in the chat. Okay, then I'll answer them. If you're an alumni or alumnus, please, and if there's anything I've left out, feel free to add in the comments below. Thank you. All right, so you should be between 25 years and 35 years old. Okay, you should not, by that we mean if you're applying when you're 35 this year and you're going to be 36 next year, that you're not eligible. If you're 23 this year and you're making 20, if you're 24 this year and you're going to make 25 next year, that might be eligible. So you can still apply. But if you're below 24, if you may be below 24 by next year, that might not be considered. But there are some exceptions if you're really an exceptional leader. So please go ahead. Of course, you should be an African citizen. You may not necessarily be living in an African country, but that's an advantage because they focus or consider people that are actually doing something back home, okay, in their real community. But if you're not also living in an African country, but you're from Africa, you're also eligible. But you should not be a US citizen, of course, or a permanent resident, much as you're born in Africa. Maybe your citizenship changed, so you're no longer eligible. And of course, like I said, if you need to have a good criminal record, so that will give you an advantage to be able to be eligible for the US visa. You should have a passport before you even apply, and you should have a COVID test. You should have gone through your COVID test, but that can be done as after the application, immediately after the application, but you should have a passport. Also, make sure that you're not whatsoever an employee or attached or a friend, close friend, or family member to any employee of the US government. That's very key. And like I said, you need to be able to read, write, and speak English. And also you should be from any of these African countries. I'm going to you can pause the video and look at it. So you should be able to, anybody coming from these countries is really eligible. There are some other countries that actually have met people, but may, oh yeah, yeah, it's this country specifically. All right. So if you're from that country, you're eligible. And if you're a resident as well, the better. But also if you're an alumni or have tried, yeah, participated and probably been, if you've applied before and rejected, you're still eligible to apply. I think it doesn't, I think at least the first, second, and third times, because we know people that have done that, you can still apply, but you should not have gone through, like, I cannot apply again because I did it already. All right. So those are some of the things that you really need before you even start your application. So the next video, depending on how many people, if you really like this is very helpful for you, please put it in your chat, put a comment. If you have further questions, put them there. The next video is going to help us identify the tricks, that not tricks, but tips on how to really go about the real application, the process. So if this has been helpful for you, subscribe, type in the chat, and then we'll be able to make the third video. If we don't get, if you really don't get, and please share among your circles, especially those that might need it. If we get really good feedback, then we shall upload the third video. All right, so see you in the third video. And that one is going to be taking us through that technical step-by-step tips of making your application worthwhile. All right, so see you in the next video.